Hey everyone, it's Richard Oceguera with Richard Oceguera Coaching, and this is this week's edition of Questions that Savvy Business Owners Ask Me. So this question actually comes from one of my coaching clients during one of our calls recently, and he said, Richard, I'm going to networking events, I'm meeting people, I'm following up, and then nothing happens. It's like crickets. And I said, well, what do you mean by following up? He said, well, I send them an email. Yeah, and then what? Well, I wait for them to follow up. Okay, young Grasshopper. The reason why nothing's happening is because you're only sending an email. Following up really takes a phone call. You can't rely just on email. How many emails do you get every day? Do you really think that someone you just met and had a brief conversation with is going to be the priority in the order of your day? Probably not. So, using the phone. Hello, this is Richard. It was great meeting you, and I'm calling to set up a time for us to have a conversation, to find out more about what you do and tell you a little bit about what I do. That's really how you want to follow up after meeting someone at a networking event. So the key to follow up is the phone call. There's no other way I can say that. You have to pick up the phone. You have to engage people beyond an email. And email is a part of it, but it should not be the only method that you're using. So if you want to increase your results with networking and the follow-up, pick up the phone. So what action step can you take? What you want to do is think about all the people that you've met at networking events where maybe you didn't even follow up with them at all yet, or maybe you just sent that email. I challenge you to now call those people. And hey, it's the holidays. It's a great time to just check in and wish people a good holiday season and make an appointment for a future date to have a conversation to find out more about what they do and to see how you can help support them in their efforts to build their business or their career. Okay, so that's this week's edition of Questions that Savvy Business Owners Ask Me. I'm Richard Oceguera. Until next time, be connected.